Torres. Touch of Cucurella. Well, he wants his side to be competitive, but what do you think the early stages are going to show us from a Cabo Verde point of view?
Simply put, Cabo Verde have to be brave. Right now, this negative passing, all that's doing is inviting pressure on to the goalkeeper, Vozinha. You're going to have to be brave. It's going to be difficult. You're going to suffer at times if you're Cabo Verde defensively. But when you get your opportunity to get on the ball, you get number 10, Jamiro Montero, on the ball as often as possible. You can create. There's some real skill and talent in this group, but they need to have the confidence to go and show it.
Top their group in qualifying. Warm-up matches have been pretty good for Cabo Verde as well against Serbia, Bermuda. But men business to compete, not make up the numbers. Here's Rodri. Americ Laporte. Cucurella. Porto's had a bit of a mixed bag with the Athletic Club this season. Headed down this.
Roger a bit more advanced now. This is good to help break down the low block that Cabo Verde is sitting in.
Ferran Torres. Torres could go long here towards Livramento, who's very isolated too for company.
Here's that's the blueprint for Cabo Verde. As soon as they win it, how quickly can you try to get Livramento into a foot race? This ball's from players when it turns over Cabo Verde. Need to find the wide spaces though.
Petri giving it away. Oh, Llorente. The referee says up you get. Wasn't pulling out of that, Marcus Llorente. Sidney Lopez Cabral feeling the force of the Atletico de Madrid player. Here is Llorente again. Stopped this time by Cabral. It'll be another Spain corner.
You see the togetherness of Cabo Verde just a moment ago. Llorente leaves one in on Lopez Cabral, and this time the favor is returned. A little bit something extra in the tackle. Llorente astutely jumps over it.
Of Barcelona just delicately floats it in, but doesn't find a teammate, and maybe the counter is on here for Cabo Verde. With the reach of Captain Mendes, making his 99th cap today. All-time record appearance maker for Cabo Verde, the record scorer as well. Rodri, hounded here. Jamiro Montero plays for Pexvoller in the Netherlands, but known to the MLS scene. Philadelphia in the San Jose Earthquakes. Petri digs out across and just glanced away.
Tremendous from Pico Lopez. Brave from Pico Lopez, he had to be.
Fossini holds on to that. Oyarzábal was heading that in. He's not touched the ball yet, but he's just been denied a certain goal.
It would have been something to say you've scored on your first touch in a match. It says something, though, that his first touch, Oyarzábal would have been 11 and a half minutes into this match. Figo Lopez with expert positioning and then the ability to contort his body to head it clear, knowing that Oyarzábal was right behind him.
Montero coming deep, starting in that number 10 role, really, but want to have more of a free role, if you like.
The only thing you don't want is Montero dropping too deep to receive the ball, because he's the creative force. Now he's doing it from a defensive midfield position. It's like any good attacking midfielder, you want to find the ball, but he needs to find that, does Montero, 15, 20 yards further up the field.
Strong season in the Netherlands with his club. And Fossini, 40 years old, joining Manuel Neuer as a 40-plus-year-old here at this World Cup. Livramento on the chase, and Mary Laporte just making sure he knows he's there.
As long as Laporte can keep Livramento in front of him, that's a win for the Spanish centre-back, and Livramento was just trying to win the foot race, was never going to be able to get to it with the amount of pace that was on the entry pass, but he's a real threat, and the Spanish centre-backs will have to be constantly aware of Livramento.
And Torres' touch just letting him down. One thing they know, Cabo Verde, is that they are, every time they are in possession, there will be a Spanish face right there in front of them before they know it. This time these nations have met. In terms of African opposition, Spain have met Morocco the last two World Cups. That's Fabian Ruiz for Rodri. Aymeric Laporte. Cucurella. Oyarzábal making the move. Calming their approach again here, Spain. Llorente. Rodri. Want a handball? I think we'll get it.
There's the game right there, the cat and mouse. Rodri's now gone higher, but he's trying to force a pass out wide to turn it over. And Cabo Verde, that's a win, to be able to just frustrate Spain and force them to try to do something a little bit differently, a little bit quicker than they prefer to. And Rodri is so calm in possession, but when he tries to play that ball, now it leads to a spell of possession for Cabo Verde that ultimately they get back too quickly.
A moment here for Pau Cabassi of Barcelona. There's a champion in La Liga this season. Has been with Barcelona all of his career through the infamous La Masia ranks. Rodri easing out, but it's been picked up here by Pedri. And Fossini, food and drink for him.
Good decision from Spain to go quickly. The preparation touch, the plant foot just too close to the ball. So when Pedri tries to take the strike, his foot's too close, he's not able to get any real power on it. So he's trying to place this around. Was he need another poor giveaway from Cabo Verde?
Well, they're playing with fire here. Figo Lopez calming it all down, and now a chance to run Llorente, although the touch on Sidney Cabral is going to get a yellow card.
The difference in this one from the one earlier where Lopez Cabral was trying to get around Llorente and there was no foul. This time the hands are up high and he catches Llorente in the face, and that's where ultimately the difference is of foul and the booking. Yeah, never even tries to pay attention or give the impression he's interested in chasing Verde.
Verde finished fourth with Atleti in La Liga this season. So we've crossed the divide from Real Madrid to Atleti. And here he is, in behind now, Llorente. Lopez Cabral with a vital contribution. He's going to be on his toes now, hasn't he? Got to be very careful with that yellow card hanging over him.
Now that he's on that booking, Llorente immediately just goes right in front of Lopez Cabral, so Lopez Cabral has to let him go. Llorente sort of overruns the initial first touch, and that chance was wasted and woeful. But again, Llorente can now be even more aggressive, knowing his counterpart is on a booking, but also because there's only Livramento up top, you can leave that with a pair of center backs, and the outside backs can get much, much higher up the field, be much more aggressive.
Spain with the ball a lot. But one thing that can help Cabo Verde, the fact that we are indoors, we've got air conditioning in here, compared to a lot of places across the country where it's been absolutely baking and playing in such tough conditions. It's going to be helpful, isn't it?
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. Those are prime conditions if you're going to have to suffer and defend. At least be able to do it with some aircon. I'd say there's got to be more endeavor from Cabo Verde when they get forward, and more composure. They seem to just panic when they get the ball.
You even complained that you were a bit chilly before, Jamie.
That was you asking for a jacket. You tell the other commentators elsewhere around the country. You tell the other commentators elsewhere around the country. You tell the other commentators elsewhere around the country. You tell the other commentators elsewhere around the country. You tell the other commentators elsewhere around the country.